How has global warming affected your country? Answer. Wow, that's an interesting question actually. Let me take a few seconds to rack my brains and consider the recent ramifications of climate change in my nation. Yes, it has influenced Vietnam a great deal. Vietnam is one of Earth's most agriculturally productive nations and is of global importance for its exports of rice, shrimp, and fruit. So, climate factors such as extreme floods, cyclones, erosion, and land degradation play a role in making natural resource based livelihoods more tenuous, thereby encouraging inhabitants to migrate. Statistics show that over the last 4 years, around 4 million people have migrated out of its vast expanse of fields, rivers, and canals. Also, global warming has heated the atmosphere around here and made us feel as if we were being baked in a giant oven. This consequently raises the amount of energy consumed and depletes our natural resources that are used for cooling purposes. What should governments do to protect the environment? Answer. That's quite a difficult question to answer. Let me think. Maybe governments all over the world should thoroughly review their environmental laws and change them to be stricter, especially with industrial companies who are known violators of toxic waste in our water, air, and land. Also, they should provide a better way to educate their citizens about conservation because we need to protect our natural areas better. If we are not careful, the world will be in deep water when too much of our land is destroyed. Finally, respect for nature is fundamental. Governments should protect key ecosystems to fight against climate change, such as rivers, wetlands, oceans, forests, and mangroves, which absorb large quantities of carbon, hence slowing warming. I believe healing the natural system is the most feasible, realistic, and fair option since it would benefit humanity and all species. Why is it important to protect the countryside? Answer. Well, now that's an interesting question. I think there are lots of very good reasons for protecting the countryside. First of all, it's important to stop polluting rivers, as this is where we get our drinking water from. And a lot of dangerous chemicals enter the food chain in this way. Another thing is conservation of the rural areas is also of major importance for conservation of diversity when it comes to both the country's social and natural diversity. Rural communities are very different from the urban ones. However, they are of vital importance for the country's development, including the national economy. Adoption of environmentally friendly agricultural methods and businesses, on the other hand, helps preserve biodiversity and healthy environment, which dramatically improves the quality of life of the rural communities, both directly and indirectly. Clean and healthy environment which thrives with life provides a major asset for the so-called countryside tourism, which can be a major contributor to the rural economy and provide the urban population a getaway from the city buzz and an opportunity to enjoy tranquility and beauty of unspoiled nature. In what way is the countryside in danger in your country? Answer. As a born and raised country girl, I believe the colorful countryside in Vietnam is in danger due to air pollution from car exhausts industry, modern farming methods, and other mediums. And it is air pollution that is causing a decline in plant pollutions. This is not just happening in areas where air pollution levels are exceptionally high, such as metropolises. In the countryside or places away from main roads, the result is still a decline in plant populations, particularly wildflowers such as creeping buttercup, blackjack, and yarrow. Besides, I think Vietnam is also in danger of losing native wildlife because the younger generation do not remember what the countryside used to look like, while the older generation are able to name common natural sites of the past that have now become a rarity, such as flocks of storks. They have not passed on their knowledge to their children. People of new generation, like my nieces and nephews, do not realize something is missing. They're actually failing to notice the degradation of the countryside. It is really important because how can you get people behind conservation action if they do not know what they have lost?